on September 23rd, 2019, I naively started on a 5-day hike to Macchu Pichu. Day one, we hiked for at least 5 hours up the mountain. It's probably not an intelligent thing to pick that as a sport starting at 55. Especially when you're in a group of 20-somethings. So by the time that I would get an opportunity to have a break and catch up to them, I'd have about a 5-minute break, if that, and it was time to continue on so that we could make it to camp on time. Day one, we got to camp about, 4:30, 5 o'clock, and we had the opportunity to go to Humanity Lake. Absolutely gorgeous lake, I'm told, by my cell phone who made it. I got about 45 minutes up the mountain, and I thought, I don't know if I should do this today. I got another 4 days of this. I'm pretty exhausted. I struggled. I thought, I'm just being a wimp. I could do this. How much longer is it, Edwin? Oh, about another hour. Okay, so I'm not a real math major, but an hour more up, that means about 2 more down. That's called 3 hours of hiking. Oh. So what do? I still am questioning what I'm doing. And I think, I'm gonna turn around because I got 4 more days that I gotta do. So I turn around, and the second that I turn around, every cell in my body says, that was the right decision. I went down and I rested. 2 days later is the day that we have to hike 22 kilometers. And you know what? Going up a mountain is easy, folks. Although, for me, I could barely breathe and walk. The altitude hit me in such a way that I couldn't eat and breathe. So I was able to eat about 3 tablespoons of food per meal, and I was continuing on. And the really sucky part of that is we had private chefs with us, and the food was delicious. I was so pissed off. So then what happened was we started, what goes up must come down. So we had to go down mountain for at least 6 hours that day, and that is brutal. I still have the bruise on my toe. It will soon grow out. I fell 3 times that day. Fortunately, I fell gently, and I've got a lot of cushion on my butt. I was in pain. I didn't think I could take one more step. And I was really questioning how wise I was paying the money to do this to myself. And I hear inside my head, I don't think I was psychotic, but I heard my guide saying to me, just put one foot in front of the other. And for the next 2.5 hours till I made it to camp that night, that's exactly what I did. And what I learned in that moment was that I am very capable of doing much more than I think I can. So when I'm exhausted and I've got nothing left, I probably have another 40% in me that I can do. And I made my trip to Macchu Pichu, and a whole bunch of people before I went said, oh, it'll be a life-changing moment. It'll be a life-changing trip. And I went, yeah, whatever. I didn't actually know how much of a life-changing trip it would be until a week after I returned. And that's when things really started to shift for me. The first week back, I slept. I'd be sitting in my armchair, and then I'd wake up, and my husband would say, "You had a good nap?" I'd probably been to sleep for about 2 hours. And I just allowed my body to rest. And then the next Wednesday, I woke up that morning, and I thought, I don't feel like working today. I'm self-employed, so I had a discussion with the boss and decided not to work. And I was sitting and I was playing crosswords on my tablet. And I'm just playing. And as I'm playing, I think, just before I went away to Peru, I met this woman at this workshop that does readings. I wonder what her name was. Oh, God, what did I do with those cards? I'm going to have to look that up. Within 10 minutes, her little messenger bubble pops up on my laptop. She's not messengering me. I'm like, oh, my God, I think that's her. So I text her, and I'm like, are you the woman that does the readings? Yeah. When do you think you could do a reading, and how much do you charge? That day, I had my reading. And she said to me, well, I see you going back to social work. There's a lot of people out there, and she actually said sexual abuse survivors, interestingly enough, that need your help. People need to learn how to look at sexual abuse from a very different point of view, including social workers. I'm like, I don't know about that social work thing. I did it for years. I don't think I'm going back to that. A little while later in the reading, I said, what about Akashic readings? And she's like, as I said that, every cell in my body said yes, and every cell in her body said yeah. She said, yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. But I still think you're supposed to get your registration and go back to social work. I'm like, I don't know about that. So Akashic readings, I'll do those. That's no problem. I'll set up a private practice. I'll do Akashic readings. So I can be stubborn, and the universe wasn't done with me yet. The very next morning, I wake up and I check my cell phone, and by God, there's a message from an ex-client of mine from 10 years ago, a therapy client saying, I don't ever think I thanked you enough for all the healing and wisdom and help that you gave me all those years ago. You've been instrumental in my life. I'm like, damn it. I am supposed to go back. So I'm like, okay, if that's what I'm supposed to do, I'll do it. Within 3 weeks, I had set up a Facebook page. I had a business name. That's an interesting story, too. I was talking to my girlfriend on the phone. We do a mastermind about our businesses. And she said, well, what would your business name? Because I'm in transition, folks. Business name is On Purpose Consulting, and I work with nonprofits. And out of my mouth came, On Purpose Transformations. As I said it, I saw my logo with a blue butterfly. As I reflected, I realized I'd taken pictures of that butterfly while I was on my trek. We hung up from that call. I looked at my vision board that was sitting right directly in front of me, and there's the big word, transformations, with a big star behind it. I'd been staring at since January of 2019 and never noticed the word. I called her back. I'm like, I can't believe this. And we both laughed. So it's not been all easy. On that Monday, I ended up with somebody on LinkedIn saying, can you do an Akashic reading for me? Sure. So I kept having all of these signs everywhere I walked. And despite my stubbornness and my challenging them, the signs kept continuing. So I have a couple more steps because I'd given my registration up in 2011 for social work. And I have 2 more steps to hop through, and I can start seeing clients again. And I have to tell you, I'm actually really excited because I have a lot of passion in front of me and inside me to help other people that have suffered to live life fully, on purpose, and to transform into all that they can be. Thank you.
What doesn't kill you